What's good, everybody? It's the Clown with Cab Show. UFC 285 was amazing. Shout out to the GOAT, Jon Jones. Once again, he proves why he is the greatest UFC fighter of all time. There's no question. There's no debate. I mean, under 2 minutes, he choked out Cyril Gane. I mean, it's crazy, dude. Under 2 minutes. And we look at the heavyweights right now, and we say to Francis Ngannou, I mean, they went to decision with Cyril Gane. It took them all fight. And Jon Jones made it look easy. And Jon Jones even said before this fight would happen, he said, I'm going to make it look easy. And a lot of people didn't believe him. I 100% believed in Jon Jones. I mean, you guys should have put everything you've had on Jon Jones in this fight. You know, you would have cashed out. You would have won a lot of money. And it made sense to me. It was insane. It was crazy. I mean, there was a bet. I think it was plus 4,400 for this fight to end via submission or TKO under the first 3 minutes into this fight, plus 4,400. Somebody hit that bet. That was a great bet. But I definitely bet on Jon Jones just to win, no matter what, and he did that. He did that in spectacular fashion. It's just Jon Jones. He can beat you on the ground. And I think for Jon Jones coming in at heavyweight now, I think even Jon, his next fight against Stripe, I think he needs to even lose some weight. Lose about 10 to 15 pounds, because he even said he was kind of goofy on his feet, trying to just get a feel for it, being absent for 3 years from the UFC. But so many UFC fans out there. A lot of people love Jon Jones. I mean, he's a household name. He's the GOAT of UFC, in my opinion. I mean, nobody's touched him, dude. He's beaten champions after champions after champions. And now he just ran through Cyril Gane under 2 minutes, dude, with that choke. And when he got him in the choke, I was like, looking, I was like, dude, it looks like, it's not even working here. I thought Jon was just going to try to just utilize his ground and pound, but it really did. Looking at it closely, it definitely, he got under his chin, and he was choking him, and Cyril tapped, dude. It was just, it was what I expected, though. I expected either a submission or a knockout by Jon Jones with a crazy leg kick, and Jon Jones didn't get hit, dude. Yes, the first hit was like, he kicked him, Cyril Gane kicked Jon Jones in the nuts, and he had about, 25-second break. But besides that, Jon Jones didn't get touched. It was insane. It was like Jon Jones just showed up for this paycheck, showed up for this huge pay-per-view event that Jon Jones is going to bring all the fans around the world to Vegas, and he just did it in a masterpiece performance, just like I said he would. It's just, I manifested this. This was just the easy pick. This was probably the easiest pick this year in 2023. It really was. Jon Jones. Who would bet against Jon Jones? There was actually a bettor that threw $3,000 down on Cyril Gane to knock out Jon Jones in the third round to win $63,000. And when I heard that, I was like, oh, $63,000 to invest $3,000. Okay, $60,000 come up. That's a terrible bet. You're betting against the GOAT here? Like, dude, we cannot do this. We can't. I think the UFC and Dana White understands, and Jon Jones, a lot of people are asking Jon Jones about Francis Ngannou. I would love to see that fight. I mean, everybody would. I think technical-wise, we give the edge to Jon Jones. Yes, I understand. Francis Ngannou has that knockout power, and one punch can end you. It really can, and Jon Jones understands that. But I think truly Jon Jones wants to fight Francis. I hope he comes back, and this one might be the biggest pay-per-view event in UFC history if Francis Ngannou comes back to fight Jon Jones. That'd be great, wouldn't it? It would be great for UFC fans. It'd be great for MMA fans around the world. And you don't even have to like Jon Jones or Francis Ngannou. You really don't. You just have to respect it. You have to. I mean, Jon Jones, dude, he's a champion. He ran through the light heavyweight division with ease, didn't lose. His only loss was that illegal elbow, and that was like first couple fights in the UFC, and he was dominating that fight. So realistically, Jon Jones has not lost, has not taken an L in the UFC. He really hasn't. The only man Jon Jones has lost to is himself, dude. And I think he's really growing through it. I think he's getting more towards faith, more towards God and Jesus, which is great. That's what you need in life. And I think that's really bringing back the old Jon Jones. And I think Jon Jones started to slip in his life a little bit once he became champion. And he was so young at 23. And Jon Jones could go party and do whatever he wanted to do. But, after a while, that lifestyle will catch up to you. That rock star lifestyle will not make it, I'm telling you. But shout out to Jon Jones. What's next for him? Going against Stripe probably in July. I think that'd be great for UFC. I mean, Jon Jones didn't get touched in his fight. Like, it's crazy. Didn't take any damage. Didn't even get hit in the face. Didn't get touched in the face. Got touched in the nuts, but, you know, you're wearing a cup, so thank God for that. But for Jon Jones, it made it look easy, dude. It was a breeze. It was a walk in the park for Jon. It was just like, really, you know, just another victim for Jon Jones here. It's insane. I think for Jon Jones, there's no question. There's no debate. He's the greatest UFC fighter of all time. He's greater. He surpassed Anderson Silva. You know, we saw Anderson Silva towards the end of his career get a little goofy on his feet, you know, kind of showboat, and he got knocked out. You know, you'll never see that with Jon Jones. Jon Jones is not getting knocked out. Jon Jones is not getting choked out. Jon Jones is not getting taken down and getting his ass beat, you know, looking embarrassed, looking like a little poodle out there. No, Jon Jones is the alpha dog. He's the alpha male, and, you know, whoever he goes against, it's the next victim. You know, even if he goes against Francis. And one thing Francis does have on Jon Jones is definitely punching power. I'll give him that. You know, you knock Jon out, that's it. But I think if Jon Jones ends up fighting Francis Ngannou, I think Jon Jones is going to be smart in this one. He's going to, you know, fill him out, you know, stay away from his overhand right and take Francis down. That's what he does. Jon is a wrestler, dude. A lot of people don't understand this. Like, that's Jon's comfortable zone, is being on top and grounding and pounding. And that's why he took Cyril Gane down and just, you know, manhandled him, choked him out, made him look like a bitch, dude. And I'm just like, how? How did he do this, dude? Like, how did Jon Jones make this look so easy? It's like Jon Jones never left, you know, for 3 years, you know, to take this 3-year layoff and build up to heavyweight. It's just Jon Jones has just not skipped a beat, dude. I just think, you know, I would love to see the fight go a little bit longer, maybe 1 or 2 rounds. But the first under 2 minutes, dude, he made a masterclass performance. Jon Jones clearly the GOAT. 27-1 and 1 no contest in the UFC. For Cyril Gane, you know, it's back to the basics, you know, going back up, and just, you know, grinding up to the top and getting another opportunity at Jon Jones. Because when Jon Jones, as long as he's in the UFC, he'll be at the top. He'll be the heavyweight champion, which he is now. He's the top dog. So people got to go to Jon Jones now. All the heavyweights, they got to go to Jon Jones. You know, good luck. And I understand, you know, Jon Jones' thing is like, well, you can, you know, throw the heavy hand right and knock Jon Jones out. Yeah, that's possible. A puncher's chance. That could happen in any weight class. I get that. Jon Jones' chin has been tested. You know, we go back to the Daniel Cormier fights. You know, the 2 fights, his chin was tested. And that was really the question for Jon Jones, especially young in his career, was does he have a chin? Can he take a punch? And we didn't really know. You know, his first, like, 10 pro fights, like, Jon really never got touched, dude. He didn't get beaten. He never did that. You know, and it's crazy. We really didn't get to see the full version of Jon Jones last night. We really didn't. I mean, he wasn't on his feet that long. You know, we didn't get to see the crazy leg kicks, you know, the quick punch, the quick jabs. You know, it's just Jon Jones, man. He's that guy. He's the GOAT, you know. So shout out to Jon Jones. And then we had the women's title fight, flyweight, Valentina Shevchenko versus Alexa Grasso. Shout out to Alexa Grasso with the upset. I cannot believe this. The 4th round choke. You know, she was definitely losing this fight. Valentina was really controlling the fight. You know, I would say the first 2 rounds could have been close. But definitely, I would say overall, Valentina was controlling this fight up until the 4th round. And I think her mistake was definitely throwing the spinning back kick. You know, and Alexa even said, we've been trading this in camp. You know, when she throws that, you know, jump on her back and then eventually choke her out, just like she did. And I just think for Valentina, she didn't need to do that. That was so unnecessary. You know, if I'm her coach in the 4th round at that point, you're up. Let's not get fancy here. You know, let's not do spinning back fists, spinning kicks. It's just extra stuff. It's just to look pretty. I don't like it. I just think, you know, it was just a reach for her. But, you know, give it up for Alexa Grasso, a new flyweight champion in the women's division. It's amazing. She stepped up and she was ready for that. And she even said she trained for this over and over again. And they really watched her. They did tape. They did their homework. So for Valentina, I mean, obviously she should get a rematch. You know, she was on a 9-fight win streak, and it snapped, you know, off a mistake, off a spinning back kick. It was unnecessary. She didn't need to do it, you know, but she was prepared. Alexa was prepared, and she's the new champion. So I think they will get a rematch. I think the UFC should do a rematch. I mean, for Valentina, she's been dominating for years. So, yeah, and we saw this a couple years ago with Amanda Nunes getting upset by Pena. You know, and then they did the rematch, the second fight, and then she got her revenge. But I think Valentina, she deserves a rematch, immediate rematch. Absolutely. I picked her because she was on a 9-fight win streak. Her last loss was in 2017 against Amanda Nunes. So I thought she would really run through Alexa Grasso. I really did. She took her down many times. But that's the beauty and the beast of the UFC, right? You make one mistake and your opponent can capitalize on that mistake, and that's it. That's all she wrote. And really, that's what Alexa did. She capitalized on the one mistake Valentina did, was this spinning back kick, and she got on her back and got the choke in, and I knew it was over. When she got on top of her, just the way it looked, it didn't look good. There was no defense for that. Was it like, oh, I'm just going to twist around? No, she was done. So let's give it up for Alexa Grasso. What an underdog. I think she was like plus 600 coming into this fight. Which is crazy, dude. You throw $100, you win $600 back. You throw 1,000, you win 6 bands back. It's crazy. The odds, for Vegas, it's just insane to me. But UFC is continuing to grow, continuing to get better. I love it, dude. And when you throw money on these fighters, it's just different, right? It's like throwing money on a team, right? But it's just a little different than that. It's different than betting on the Super Bowl or college football. It's different because you're betting on an individual. You're not betting just on the team because, anybody can make a mistake on the football team, on the 11 guys versus 11. Somebody can make a dumb play, okay? But when you're betting on a fighter, it's much different. I really do believe that because it's just like, oh, man, like if the fighter makes a mistake, if it doesn't see the right coming, could get knocked out just like that. It's crazy. But Alexa Grasso, the new flyweight champion of the world, she deserves it. She came in ready. Yes, and I would say the third round, she definitely got dominated. I think she was on the ground most of the fight. But, hey, one mistake's all it takes. So, shout out to the new Alexa Grasso, the flyweight champion of the world. And Valentina, she will get a rematch. She deserves it. Absolutely. And then we got Bo Nickel with the dub. I told you guys to go Bo Nickel, first round submission. This guy's legit. And a lot of people threw him some shade because he's already in the main event, in the main card with John Jones, the GOAT. A lot of people were like, Bo, how do you, how did this happen? But, how did it happen? He's a great wrestler, okay? He's a 3-time national champion wrestler at Penn State. This guy's no joke. He's got great striking skills, only getting better. My thing is with Bo Nickel, his chin isn't tested. We don't know yet, right? We said that with John Jones in his young career. We don't know if his chin's tested because it hasn't been tested. We don't know if he's got a glass chin or a great chin. But to be a top-level UFC fighter, you have to have a chin. Because if you don't have a chin, dude, you're going to get knocked out. You're going to look embarrassed. And you're going to just look silly, dude. You really are. You have to have a chin. But Bo Nickel, he's legit, man. He's got the speed. He's got quickness, dude. And his transition and the grappling is just insane, dude. Immediately, he's already in, like, half guard. Immediately and out. Dude, it's crazy, dude. Bo Nickel, man. You guys will know this kid's name. He will be champion of the world. He even said he would. He'll be pound for pound #1 king eventually. I mean, this guy's hungry. You can tell. I mean, you engage in some of these UFC fighters, and you can tell, man. You see the hunger. You see the passion. And I see the passion in Bo. I really do. And even Alexa Grasso. I mean, after the fight, she was so humble in victory. She was like, I got to get, all my coaches are the ones that deserve this. Her family, her friends, everybody that helped her to get to where she's at. I felt that. And I was like, damn, dude, I might tear up on this shit. Like, Alexa Grasso, that is inspiring, dude. It's great. It's great for UFC. But, for Bo Nickel, man, what's next for him is continue to climb the ladder. Go to 170, 185, whatever. I think 170 would be great for Bo Nickel. I really do. I think he's going to continue to improve and continue to get better. And he will be back in another main card. He really will. So I think Bo Nickel, you guys will remember it. So, big win by him. Then we had Cody No Love finally get the W. He was on a losing streak, man. In the third round, when I was watching the prelims with Cody, it was just, the third round, he was just trying to win the fight, right? He wasn't trying to lose. There's a difference, right? When you're trying to win the fight, you're going all out no matter what. You don't care about the first 2 rounds, but you could tell Cody was gassed. Something happened. But for Cody, good thing to get that back on the win column. My thing is with Cody, how is he going to become champion? That's the huge thing. He's got to continue to grind back and just start from where he's at right now and just continue to win. I mean, I believe in Cody. I like him. Who knows what's next for him? But UFC 285 was amazing. It did not disappoint whatsoever. The atmosphere, it's crazy, man. And I think the atmosphere was so good because Johnny Bones Jones was finally back, dude. He's finally in there, man. He's got it, dude. And I think John Jones has definitely transformed his life. He's no longer like the party animal, the rock star. I think he's really moved on from that life, which is great for John Jones. Because if he were to continue down that road, John Jones wouldn't be in the UFC right now. He really wouldn't. If he was still continue to do those things, the party things that you see, you cannot make it in the UFC, dude. You just can't. I don't care how talented you are. I don't care how God-given gifts you are. You just cannot do that. You have to pay attention to detail in the craft, dude, because somebody's going to be more hungry and outwork you and be better than you eventually and catch up with you. But for John, it's just a different story, man. He's probably the most gifted fighter we've ever seen in the UFC, dude. Like, he could do it all. He could do ground game. He could do Muay Thai. He could do crazy leg kicks. He can box with you. He can do anything. So I think for John Jones, that's what separates him from the pack. And people want to bring up steroid uses. Hey, that's innocent now. He proved that he was not on steroids. That already came out. So, for the people that say, oh, John Jones is a cheater, stop it, dude. Those are just John Jones haters. Those are John Jones haters. At the end of the day, John Jones gets wins no matter what. And I think that's why he's the GOAT. He's more concerned about winning than selling pay-per-views or looking good on camera. He doesn't care about that. John Jones cares about being a household name for the rest of his life. So when he does retire from the UFC, people are still going to bring his name up. He's going to be at the top. Most wins, most title defenses, John Jones. Youngest champion ever, John Jones. Like, those things. So John Jones is going to be remembered forever. So I can't wait, man. Then we got UFC 286 in a couple weeks. Leon Edwards versus Kamaru Usman. They get the trilogy, dude. I cannot wait for that fight. We remember last time, Usman got knocked out with the crazy leg kick in the 5th round by Leon. And Leon, dude, he made him take a 20-minute nap, but he was humble in victory. And Kamaru Usman says, hey, I'm a better fighter. I know this, and he will prove it. I can't wait for UFC 286. I cannot wait. But for this, UFC 285 was amazing. And for John Jones, next is Stripe in July. I cannot freaking wait. UFC 285 was amazing. It's the Clown with Cab Show. Let's go!